Have you ever felt like the world has simply forgotten you? Like every door has shut in your face? Like people no longer see your worth? Like you're walking a lonely road where no one cares whether you're okay or not? Maybe you're living through gray, silent days when everything seems to lose its meaning. But I'm here to tell you, with all the strength of my voice, God has not forgotten you. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday or what's happening right now. It doesn't matter how many people ignored you, rejected you, or turned their backs on you. God sees you. God knows your heart. God still has a purpose for your life. In this society we live in, where appearance often matters more than substance, where social media popularity seems more important than the truth in your heart, it's easy to feel invisible. It's easy to think that if no one likes, follows, or comments on your posts, then you have no value. But let me tell you something that maybe no one has told you today. Your value is not in this world's hands. Your value is in God's hands. Remember Joseph in the Old Testament? Sold as a slave by his own brothers, forgotten in a prison. But God never forgot him. At the right time, God lifted him up and made him governor over Egypt, the most powerful nation of that time. You might be in the season of silence, the season of the prison, the season of being forgotten. But your story isn't over. God is writing a new chapter, full of purpose, full of restoration, full of glory. What the world rejects, God turns into a treasure. Remember David, the youngest of his brothers, left out when the prophet Samuel came to anoint a king. It was him, the forgotten one, whom God chose to rule over Israel. It wasn't the strongest, nor the most impressive. It was the one with a pure heart. God doesn't look at appearances. He looks at the heart, and God sees your heart right now. He sees your pain, your silent battles, your tears that no one else sees. And he's saying to you, my son, my daughter, I am here. I have never left you. You think it's a coincidence that you're hearing this message right now? It's not. God knew you needed to hear this today because he wants to lift you up. He wants to remind you that the dreams he planted inside of you are still alive. You may have been forgotten by people, but you were chosen by heaven. You're not a mistake. You're not a random event. You are a divine plan, designed with love by the hands of the Creator. Remember the woman with the issue of blood? 12 years of suffering, rejected by society. But all it took was one touch of Jesus, and her life was completely transformed. She didn't have a name among the great, but she had faith, and that changed everything. Your faith can change the course of your story today. People may forget you, friends may walk away, but God remains. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He doesn't lie, he doesn't fail, and he never gets tired of you. While many are focused on appearances, status, or temporary success, God cares about your heart, and it's in the silence, in the desert, in the pain that he shapes you, prepares you, and strengthens you. You're not where you are by accident. There is a purpose in this season of your life. Maybe you can't see it yet, but one day you'll look back and say, I had to go through that valley to get here. I had to be forgotten by many to be remembered by God. And when God lifts you up, no one can stop it. When God opens a door, no one can close it. When God says yes, the universe obeys. So don't give up now. Get up. Dress yourself in faith. Look to the heavens. That's where your help comes from. That's where your answer is. That's where your healing, your restoration, and your victory come from. All of heaven moves for you. You may not be famous on earth, but your name is written in heaven. You are more loved than you can imagine, stronger than you think, more precious than you understand. And if today everything feels hard, dark, and directionless, remember God is your light, and he has never forgotten you. The world may forget you, but God never will. You know that emptiness that creeps in. At the end of the day, that silent question that echoes in your mind, do I really matter? Let me answer that with all certainty. Yes, you matter. And you matter a lot. To God, you are His masterpiece. You are the expression of His love. And even when you feel alone, even when it seems like everything is out of control, God is there. Maybe you look in the mirror and only see weakness, exhaustion, limitations. Maybe you think you've failed too much, messed up too many times, drifted too far. But God doesn't see like man sees. He's not looking at your failures like a cruel judge. He's looking at your heart like a loving father, longing for his child to come home. Remember the prodigal son? He thought he had gone too far, lost everything, that his father would never accept him again. But while he was still on the road, the father saw him and ran to meet him, embraced him, dressed him with honor, and celebrated his return. That's who God is. A father who runs to your arms when you come back home. And that's why you need to hear this right now. No matter how far you've gone, you still have a place in God's heart. How many times have you prayed in silence? How many times have you cried in secret, just wishing for a sign? Well, this message is your sign. God is calling you by name. He's reminding you that your story isn't over, that there are still amazing chapters to come. The glory of your latter days will be greater than the former. People may judge you by your past, but God knows you by your future. He doesn't just see what you were, He sees what you can become in His hands. Don't stay stuck in yesterday. Don't believe the lies the world whispered in your ear. You are more than a number, more than a statistic, more than your mistakes. You are chosen. You are loved. You are a child of God. Even when your mind says otherwise, listen to the voice of heaven saying, "You are mine. I chose you from your mother's womb. I know you. I love you." It doesn't matter how many no's you've heard. It doesn't matter how many people have abandoned you. It doesn't matter if no one else believes in you. God believes. God invests. God transforms. There's a strength in you that this world can't erase. There's a hope in you that time can't destroy. There's a purpose still beating inside, even on your hardest days, and that voice inside you whispering, "Keep going." That fire still burning, that is the voice of God. He's whispering to your heart, "Don't give up now. I'm still going to show you what I can do with your life." While the world labels you a failure, a problem, a burden, God calls you hidden treasure. God calls you a pearl of great price. God calls you an heir to the kingdom. And if you feel unworthy, know this: none of us are worthy, but God's grace is not about deserving. It's about unconditional love. It's about forgiveness. It's about new beginnings. And today, right now, in this very moment, this is your new beginning. The world may have ignored you, pushed you aside, forgotten your name, but God has engraved your name on the palms of His hands, and He is calling you to live a new story, a story where sad endings become victorious testimonies, where your tears hurt, but they also water your destiny, where every no from the world brings you closer to one yes from God, where every fall teaches you how to rise stronger, where pain shapes you, solitude teaches you, and faith lifts you up. Don't think you're on the sidelines. You are at the center of God's will, even if it doesn't look like it today, even if your circumstances say otherwise. Don't forget, the author of life is writing your next chapter, and this chapter will be filled with miracles, restoration, open doors, fulfilled dreams, and answered promises, because the God who began the good work in you is faithful to complete it. Leave a comment. We want to hear what God spoke to your heart through this message. Share this with at least 3 people you love. It might be exactly what they need today. Like this video. It helps spread this message of hope even further. And most importantly, subscribe to the Transforming Word of God Channel and turn on the bell for more messages that build up, transform, and renew your faith. You're not here by accident. God brought you here, and through you, He will reach many more hearts. And through you, He will reach many more hearts.